very thankfully, doing this work brings me in contact with a lot of incredible resources. Some of those resources become mentors, and one of those resources became my auntie. And that is Tijuana Gholson. As I mentioned before, serial preneur, work touches a number of industries. She herself is also a consultant, a strategist. She works with small businesses, and she has written a powerful book. Girl, what you gonna do with your money? So we invited her today to kind of debrief. One of the things that we said we wanted to get out of this program is increased financial literacy, right? We want to take that to the next level. So y'all give this woman a round of applause as she comes up. Ms. Tijuana Gholson.
Hey, ladies! Yeah, I like this crowd, Glenn. They respond back. Call and respond. Hey, ladies! Yeah! Hey, ladies! Yeah! Talk about money! Yeah! Talk about money! Yeah! Y'all did it. Y'all did that to me. Y'all did that to me. Now my 80s coming out. A penny saved is a penny earned. Everybody heard that? What you think money grow on? Trees. Y'all was in my house then, right? You think I'm made of? Money. All right, all of that. I want you guys to discuss amongst yourselves those phrases that you either learned at home, from teachers, mentors, you heard it on TV, your friends may have said it around you, or you just heard it somewhere and you don't know where it came from. But it's in there. I want you guys to discuss that. Take some time. We're going to take about 6 or 7 minutes to discuss those things together.
For me, money is relative.
Listen, I know as a people, and it's not just, I was sharing with Mr. Sego while you guys were in yoga, it's not just us as a culture that have a hard time discussing money, it's everybody. I talk to different groups, different cultures, different shades, hues of melanin, and we all are in the same storm. We may not be in the same boat, because our boat might be a little tricked out a little different than others, but the storm is the same. And we all can benefit from just a little bit more financial education. So don't feel bad when you're discussing money. You should feel like you're in good company in here, because all of us were told the same stuff. You think about it. Now imagine if we were told principles that could actually help us to grow our money. If we could actually have been told that, imagine the power we would have had younger. But all is not lost. It's not too late. It's never too late. As long as we have breath, it's never too late. So I like to talk about money in a different way. I don't like to lecture at you about budgets. Budgets are boring. Who wants a budget? Who? Not me. Who really wants a budget? You want a budget? Y'all look at the budget geek over here. Y'all say hi to him. What's your name? Katrina said, my name's Katrina and I like the budget.
I want to ball out.
You want to ball out.
Yes, I do.
So you want an expense account.
Yes, I do.
Where there are two areas in an expense account, assets and liabilities. An expense account, budgeting is more, and I wouldn't even want to talk about budgeting. See, y'all gonna make me talk about stuff. Budgeting is more restrictive.
Yes, it is.
Nobody want to do that. Just teach you how to scrimp and save and live a halfway life where you never get to the life where she says, when does balling out mean?
To me, falling out, because I have this thing that I say to myself that one day I'm going to be able to walk into any store that I want and be able to get or purchase or afford anything that I want. Not necessarily mean that I'm going to buy it, but I just want to be able to afford it if I want.
Yes, and you deserve that.
I can do that right now at the Dollar Tree.
Right. So the reason why I don't use the term budget again is because it's restricting. I use the term expense account cash flows because in an expense account cash flows through that account, and you're deliberately, intentionally watching your assets and your liabilities, and you're trying to minimize your liabilities and have more assets and have those assets paid for your liabilities. So that's why I use the word budget. Budget just says to stay within your means, live within your means, scrimp and save, just have barely enough to make it from paycheck to Monday. That is not stuff. That is not fun. Paycheck to Monday. That is not sexy at all. Okay, so we're not gonna talk about budgets in here. All right, we're gonna talk about expense. If we talk about those principles, we talk about expense account. But what I came here to talk to you guys today about is mindsets, money mindsets. That's why we did that exercise, because a lot of times we don't even realize all of the messaging that we have inside of us until we take time to do exercise like this. Y'all didn't even know y'all had all that in common, did you? You didn't know other people were being told that stuff, did you? Everybody's being told the same messages. Some people are being told simple stuff like money don't grow on trees, and some people are being told nothing. Nothing.
Right.
Being told nothing. Okay? So who am I? I'm Tijuana Gholson. I'm the girl like, y'all like that picture?
Yes.
I'm the author of Girl, What You Don't Do With Your Money. And I wrote that book because of us. And I can safely say that in this room because everybody looks like me. The truth is I wrote it because first of all, I wanted to have something to leave to my daughter, my favorite daughter is what I call her. She said, Mom, you don't worry. Technicality, tomato. My favorite daughter and the granddaughters I may get one day. I have all grand boys. Nobody want to give me a grand girl. But, and the granddaughter, great-granddaughter, and my nieces, goddaughters, wrote it for them to have something written that's simple in simplistic terms to just let people know that you can do this with your money. Money doesn't have to be a taboo. It doesn't have to be something that you run away from, but it can be intentional. I have made some intentional decisions in my life because there's so much messaging out here. You go on YouTube University right now and just Google finances, you're gonna get a whole lot of people telling you a whole lot of things. And a lot of times we look at these things, I'm guilty and have been guilty of it, and we do nothing because it's a lot and we don't know where to start. So my hope in the book was to there's some principles in there, of course, but to also give you the messaging that you can do it if you shift your mindset. Because a lot of what we do is based on what we think, what we've heard, what we've learned, and guess what? How we feel about money. Yeah, I said it, feel. Money comes with an emotional component. I heard someone, I want to say at this table, or it might have been this table, as I was walking past saying that someone in their family shopped when they felt bad. Whose table? That was you. Shopped when they felt bad. Boyfriend left me, I'm gonna go shopping. Retail therapy. Dog died, retail therapy. Lost my job. I ain't got no money, but I'm still going shopping. We've all done it. We all do it. Because it gives us that emotional release. So it comes with a serious emotional component. I'm a business coach, I'm a life coach, but I concentrate on businesses and coaching financially. And one of the biggest parts of my practice is sitting down with small business owners on the business expenses. But before we can do that, we're going to talk about how they deal with their own money, because if you're going to employ people, That's some serious stuff. That's other people's mouths that you're feeding. You gotta make sure that you can at least handle yours first, right? So we talk about that. In the process of that, a whole lot of emotions come. I had people crying. They don't want to talk about it. Believe it or not, there's little things that we can tweak that we can find money. They don't want to talk about it. What do you mean I gotta go get a prepaid phone versus having this $200 a month cell phone bill? I can't do that. I gotta have a new Apple. I gotta have a new iPhone. Oh, but honey, if you, AT&T got the same plan for $50 a month with no contract. You're renting your phone. It's hard to get people's mind wrapped around little small principles like that. I always say we can shop in our closet. Because I love to shop. Y'all can see. I love to shop. But what I try to do before I go out and make these crazy purchases, first of all, I plan for it. This stage of my life is planned for it. But even before that, I practice a principle where I shop in my own closet first. But let me just make sure I already have a red suit in there. And most of the time I do. Seriously, this is the first time I wore this. I took the tag off today. I forgot I had it. Because this weekend, I made a couple of purchases. And my rule is, if you bring, for the amount of pieces you bring in, you got to take out. And you got to give it to someone else. You don't like that rule? You know why that rule? You know why that's my rule? Because my closet gets over flooded and I can't maintain. So I have to give out. And I actually lost some weight. I lost about 30
Let's take that. I'll take that.
But the real rule is I take out. But I did lose some weight. And the other day I was speaking somewhere and I had my cell phone in my pocket and my pants started slipping. I was like, oh my God, I really lost weight. That's when you know you really lost weight. Thank y'all. I needed to for my numbers. I'm in my 50s and my blood pressure. I ain't playing around. I'm not playing around with that, y'all. So I did have to shop.
Okay.
And give away some things. But there were some things I didn't have to give away too, so I had to make a decision. So when I bring in pieces, I have to take pieces out and give it to someone else. Socks don't count. It's gotta be comparable. You bring pants in, you take pants out. Back in the day when New York and Company was hopping, I used to have the coupons. So I used to shop there all the time. I went in my closet and, kid you not, I had 30 pair of pants, black pants, same black pants. I kept buying them over and over because they won't sell. That's excessive. So that's why I have that rule. If you bring something in, you take something out and give it away. So my friends enjoy it. They love, when I give it away. But a lot of times I hardly wear it. Because I'm with the same, we're creatures of habits. We wear the same thing every day. I wear the same stuff every week. And if I'm exercising, it's yoga pants. So I never get around to the pretty clothes anyway. So anyway, I get off on all that. Okay, what was I talking about? I need to stay focused. Okay, so. Oh, I was telling you guys about myself. Tijuana Gholson, business owner. My husband and I, we chose on our financial path. Everybody's financial path is different. Everybody's road to financial freedom is different. Everybody's idea, and I love how you said, my idea of balling out. Because her idea, what's your name? Sparkle. I love that name. I'm going to remember that name. Sparkle's idea of balling out is different than Carolyn's. Or Catherine's idea. I should remember that because I don't know Catherine. I always try to correlate. Different than Catherine's idea of balling out. So everybody's road to freedom, or whatever that means. Some people I have a cousin that says, as long as I got my money to pay my bills, I don't care about nothing else. That ain't me.
Right.
I need some money to do some other stuff. Because I got an affinity for islands. I like to go and lay on white sandy beaches and see water and see the dolphins. Yeah, so my idea is different. I don't want to just pay my bills. That's That's boring to me. It was more challenging than maybe, So everybody's idea, but that's fine. My cousin, if that's her idea of freedom, and that's what she wants to do, and that's her path to happiness, then there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. There's nothing wrong with that. So, your takeaway from me today, I'm going to tell you what your takeaway is. Mindset. Think about our mindsets. And you're going to see that in the book when you guys get a chance to read it. It's only 14 chapters, so read a chapter a day. Don't bore yourself. I know you're busy women. We got other things that you can read Tijuana's book, but I guarantee you it's going to bless your soul. I tell a few stories about my life and then give you some principles weaved in there too. But think about your mindset. Let's think about the exercise that we just did. All of the stuff that we were told about money. And you can take this principle in anything in life, about your relationships with your significant other, your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your children, your relationship with coworkers, anything. There's messaging on money deep down inside. I'm going to challenge you guys to do something when you get home, or you can write it down now so you can remember. But get a blank sheet of paper out, draw a line down the middle. Now, I got this principle from my husband and I. We had a rough patch in our marriage about 20 years ago. We've been married 31 years now. About 20 years ago, we were trying to figure it out. Do we like each other anymore? Do we believe in marriage anymore? All that. We're doing all that. Yeah, y'all looking at me with that tone of voice, but I'm pretty sure some other people here had that too, right?
That's a real place.
And guess what? We went to counseling. Black people went to counseling. Woo! Y'all give us a hand. We went to counseling. And we were in there acting like straight children. You on one side of the couch folded up, I'm on the other side of the couch folded up. And we talking about, that ain't what I heard, that ain't what my family told me. And the counselor was like, shh. Who told you that? My mama said that. Who told you that? My daddy said that. And the counselor said, okay, let's do this. Because y'all got everybody in your marriage but you. Get a piece of paper out. This is what I'm telling y'all to do now, because I practice this now in my practice. It's a great tool. And I just so happen to have a master's in counseling too. So. Draw a straight line down the middle, blank sheet of paper. On the left-hand side, write down everything about money. And we're just doing this on money, but you can do it on anything. You can do this exercise with your significant other, what you feel about relationship. But write down everything that you heard about money. More money, more problems. Penny saved, penny earned. Don't use credit. All that stuff. Write it all down. Everything that you heard, good and bad. Then go down the list. I don't care if it's 100 items. Try to think of everything you can. Try to dump it out, because it's in your computer brain. Try to dump that thing out. When you get to your 100th thing, because there's going to be a lot in there, go down each one of them. What you believe, check it. Keep it. What you don't believe, cross it out. And I mean, the simplest thing, if you don't believe in more money, more problems, don't keep it. Cross it out. But on the other side of that line, write what you believe. Write a response to that.
Just the ones you cross out.
Just the ones you cross out. The ones you believe. The ones you don't believe, write a rebuttal to it. More money, no more problems. No. For me, I don't believe more money, more problems.
That's right.
I believe more money, more opportunity. Okay? Now, I also have to educate myself on how to exercise that money, because my husband and I, in one of our businesses is very lucrative. We're in healthcare. And when we were younger in our business, we made a lot of money really fast. And we weren't prepared for it. And neither was our CPA at that time. We didn't even realize that we had the wrong CPA. She specialized in nonprofits, in churches. Should have known, because our pastor, but she didn't understand understand she couldn't grow with us. She was fine when our business was making $10,000 a month. She was even fine when it was making $100,000 a month. But when it got over that, she didn't know what to tell us to do with our tax bracket. And we were paying taxes like, I still have the paperwork. We owed the IRS one year $145,000. Still got the paperwork. Keep it, to remind us that we're never doing that again. And that was the hardest bill to pay because the IRS interest rates you pay and they don't go down.
That's right.
So we ended up having to take a loan so we could get it done. But we couldn't quit. Why, y'all? Because we had employees.
Right.
We have employees still, but we had employees to take care of.
Right.
If we quit, then a whole bunch of people were going to be hungry and out of a job. So that's why money is so important when you are a business owner. And it's not just having the money or not, it is also being educated around what to do with that money. Because as you move and as your money changes, you have to make changes too. Okay? And I don't subscribe to, I'm just going to let them handle it. Yes, we got CPA and tax attorneys, but I'll just let them handle it. I be reading stuff too, and they be like, what about this? What about this? Oh, yeah, you can do that. Okay, why you didn't tell me that? You have to be active. Okay? Any?
Yes, I have a question. Thank you. So, I was explaining to the people at my table how much, going back to our upbringing and everything, how much anxiety that I have around money. Like, I would probably be one of those people who would cry in the session. So, as far as the exercise that you suggested go, or just, in general, what if you're going through that list and you do believe that more money, more problems? And, like, where do you go from there? What advice do you have about overcoming those mental barriers about money? Because I'm even hesitant to even do the exercise just because of the emotional, So what advice do you have on that?
It's definitely real. And I can see you. I'm going to give you a...
Like, I'm trying not to cry.
When I say money, let me tell y'all something. And I think I'm in a safe space to say this too, scripture. Yes. There is 2,300 scriptures on money. It's more than faith. It's more than love. It's more than all of that. Research it. You can Google that. That's a statistic. Google that for you. There's more scriptures about money than there's anything. God cares about your money. God says in scripture, in the Bible scripture, gotta be DEI correct, that God desires you to prosper just as much as your soul prospers, because, and it's serious, because your soul is that emotion. So it's a twofold thing. Your pocketbooks need to prosper, and your heart needs to prosper. Why? Because you can't do no work without money, y'all.
Yes, right.
Come on now, you can't. There's nothing you can do in this dispensation that we live in. It's done on currency. Now, back in the day when bartering, and we still can barter a little bit, but it only goes so far in this era. This era says cash has to flow in order for anything to happen. So we've got to get it right. Okay? And it's okay. I'm emotional about money too, and I don't have no. Woo! I used to have a scarcity mentality. All right, I'm going to tell a little bit of my story. I used to have a scarcity mentality because my mother was married but single. You all get that? Yeah. So you never know if Friday, if he was going to bring the money home or not, or drink it up. She gone now, tell the story. So what my mother did, she moved differently because she had kids and she wanted to make sure we was okay. So this was before Sam's Club was a thing that weren't built yet. There was that good old fashioned layaway. My mama used to lay away toilet paper, soap, no joke, toothpaste, everything. We had stuff in the house like a storage closet. We had a store at the house because she didn't know if this dude was gonna come home with the money. So me as a child, I'm watching that, you know, I'm like, okay, this is what you do. So when you get married, you buy up all this stuff, you stock it up, and, you know, I always had, my kids ain't has to be here, because I became a mother early. Kids ain't has to be here, so they're not gonna go for nothing. They're not gonna want for anything. So I did the same thing. Stocked up. Every time my husband was in the military, so every time the commissary had a sale, Tijuana was down there buying them 25-cent cereal. They were in the bed, they were in the closet, they were everywhere. Drove my little young husband crazy because I also wouldn't allow him to spend any money. All the money came home to me. I'm going to divvy it out because I appointed myself the best one to do the money, right? I appointed myself. And he just agreed because he wanted to make his wife happy. But he was miserable because you got enough to get gas. Oh, you don't need no lunch out there. Come home, eat your lunch. You right your office right there in the street. We live in the base. Come on down here and eat this lunch. You don't need nothing. And I controlled it like that because I was afraid of going without. That's a scarcity mentality. Now, mind you, we didn't have no more money than we did if I didn't do that. Because I didn't know how, I was not educated well enough on money. So that was my emotion around it. So my husband and I, we had a lot of arguments about it because he came from he was the oldest of two youngest children. Both his parents were the babies. Daddy was the youngest of 14, Mama was the youngest of 8, and they didn't have to do anything. His mama didn't even know how to cook. They would stop at Auntie's house and get food and go home. So they were really true babies of the family. So they went without a lot. So my husband was like, hey, we got money now, we're in the military. He thought we was rich men. We was good boy in the military. We in the military, we got money, we need to spend our money. Eat once or nothing, we can get pop on. Y'all remember those commercials, right? Eat one or nothing. So he wanted to spend, and I was like, no, we can't spend, we got 2 little ones. But we were miserable with that mentality. So what I had to do is I had to educate myself a little bit more, to give a little bit too, Sometimes we had to buy some stuff that I didn't want to buy because it wasn't all my money. But education is going to help you with your mindset. Financial education. But don't go out there and try to get everything in one day. Just take a few things that your spirit resonates with and nail them. Don't try to learn everything about stocks. Don't try to learn everything about real estate. Don't try to learn everything about business. Take one bite at a time. Because you also got to know what is your financial or investor DNA. Any business owners in here? Aspiring business owners too? So you guys are risk takers. Yeah. You're like at the top of the chain of risk takers if you're a business owner. You gotta be there. But you have to know that about yourself. That's your investor DNA. But for somebody else, like my cousin Keita, she don't want no parts of that. She happy working her 9 to 5 because she just want to pay her bills. So she's met her idea of financial freedom. So you got to know that about yourself. So that's how you tune into that. Know that about yourself and educate yourself. And even being a business owner, it's constantly education. We never stop. Business owners don't ever stop educating themselves. Because laws change, rules change, taxes change, everything changes. World change, times change, things change. Constantly for businesses. So it's not like we can do a 4-year college and be like, oh, I'm done. No. It is a constant. Every day. Learning something, staying relevant, staying fresh, staying new, adding value. So that's the first thing I wanted, speaking of value. And I have a slide, but I don't hardly go to it because I like to talk. That's another thing. Mindset's the first thing. So y'all got your exercise from home, you got your homework from home. And my email address is in the book too. Shoot me an email. Chit chat with me about your progress. The other thing I want you guys to do is to hone in on you. It is my belief that you are your greatest asset. Let that sink in. You are your greatest asset. We're always looking for, what can I invest in? I'm almost done? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Good. I'm gonna wrap it up in 2 minutes so we can have some questions. You are your greatest asset. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to hone in on you and your value. Think about value creation. And I talk about this a lot with my business clients. You know, a lot of folks want to sit down and, what should I do? I don't know what you should do. What's my purpose? I don't know. That's not between me and you. That's between you. But a lot of times we don't take the time with ourselves to figure that out because we've got so much other messaging. And that messaging is, go into computers because you can make a lot of money. In my family, it was being a nurse. Everybody else was a nurse. And I tried. Lord knows I did. So I got the clinicals. And I realized I'm nobody's nurse. I'm a counselor, not a nurse. But I had to, thousands of dollars later, going to nursing school, pleasing my mother, who was the RN in the family, and my grandma, who was also a nurse, and all the plethora of aunties and uncles who were in the nursing field, and the lab techs, because that's the family thing. We all know medical. I was miserable in that part of medical. So that messaging I had to rewrite that messaging. And then take the risk of disappointing my mother for a moment. She got over it when I, became a business owner and could buy a house and all that stuff. She got over it. But back then, it was like, what are you doing? This is what we do in this family. Y'all know the long list of everybody in the family are lawyers. Everybody go to Duke University. Everybody do that. So you lose your own identity in the family's identity. So I want you guys to really hone in. And all of this got to do with money, y'all. Believe me, trust me. Y'all can learn about budgets and expense accounts and all that somewhere else. But that's not going to do you any good if you don't deal with this first. And this. And so, I want you to go and spend some time. I want you to be intentional with your heart. Okay? Heart. Your health. And I'm saying this from a place of love. The reason I lost 32 pounds and I'm still going is because my numbers were not good. Working, and working. Grieving, but not really taking the time to deal with it. So I work to not grieve and to avoid. And then my numbers are going like this. And my weight is going like this. So I have to think about taking care and taking heart. So H for health. E, education. Educate yourself financially. Take 1 or 2 things. Don't do it all. A little bit at a time. Take small chews. See what resonates in your heart as far as where you should go with your money, how you should invest, what you believe in. A for attitude. And what I mean by attitude is your mental health. That's another place where not only as business owners, but as women, we take care of everybody else, but we don't really take care of ourselves that well. So I applaud you guys for doing yoga this morning. I hope you got some clarity. I also do yoga, but I do hot yoga. I like it. You can do it. You just got to work on it. But hot yoga and yoga allows you to be still and just listen to a voice and movement. Or do the 6-minute morning. Get up in the morning, give yourself 6 minutes in a quiet place. My closet, I have a special chair in my closet that's in front of a window, and I have a bird that visits me. Now it's butterflies. My mom, that's why I wear butterflies. I believe my mother visits me in yellow butterflies. And they follow me now. And so I sit in this window and I intentionally think every morning. That's my appointment with myself. I initially gave myself 6 minutes. Sometimes it's 60 minutes or more because it's a practice now. But give yourself that time, mental health time, to think about your day and how you're going to add value to the day and to those around you and where the higher power wants you to be at that day. So A for attitude, that's your mental health. R, relationships. It is no good to have any money and climb the ladder and you don't have no friends to celebrate. And I told y'all I love going to islands. I don't want to go by myself all the time. My husband get bored sometimes. I love him, but you know, there's so much sex we can have. Blair said, speak for yourself. I saw her eyes roll back here. Speak for yourself. Yeah, when I was in my 30s, I was tearing it up too. But anyway, y'all can edit that out of the podcast.
Funny story. We happened to be on the same island on the same day, and then
That's crazy. Last month.
on social media.
Didn't even know it. We didn't see it on social media. We was there at the same time. But anyway, without those relationships around you, climbing that ladder, and you look around and everybody's gone because you didn't nurture relationships, what kind of heart is that? What kind of life is that? Right? Then finally, the T for time. Give yourself time. You were there too?
Yeah.
On my cruise?
Yeah.
Oh, did we see you?
Probably did.
You were on a cruise? Yes. Were you on there too? Yes. This is so crazy. Yes. Okay, back. So give yourself time to make all this happen. So that's heart. Take care of your heart. All right? Y'all got that acronym. So your 2 takeaways is your mindset, challenge your beliefs on money, dig in with your mindset. 2, think about your value. What assets you bring to this world? What value can you create? Because that's where your money is, y'all. I don't care if your mama told you to be a nurse. You know you ain't no nurse. You really can get down with social media and you can monetize that. That's where your money is. But we don't trust ourselves enough there, where our natural gifts are. We don't trust ourselves. I'm telling you to trust yourself. You are your greatest asset. None of the vehicles, financial vehicles, and I know about all of them, a lot of them. I know about a lot of them. None of them are going to help you until you get this together and you educate yourself and you know in your heart this is where you're supposed to go. I don't care if your friends say, hey, get into Bitcoin because this is the way it goes. Tawana not getting into Bitcoin. I don't understand it. I don't care to understand it at all. But Tawana love real estate and Tawana love business. And I like to buy businesses and invest in businesses and have my own businesses. Because why? Because they bring me cash flow. I like my money all the time. I don't want to wait 30 years for my money. I want it every day. I want it every day. Remember? That's my ideal financial freedom. Being able to go. So I need flow. Okay? But you find out where your flow is and your DNA, your investor DNA. That's what my investor DNA says. Now I got friends that say, I can't use no real estate. Nah. It's a train wreck for them. They should not do it. They should go and invest in Bitcoin. Everybody's DNA is